$4 out of every 5. That is how much of a Miami Beach home's value sits in the dirt underneath it. Not the house, the ground. We ran the numbers on every parcel on this island. The land beats the structure on 97% of the houses. And that is the tension in this episode. You think you are buying a house here. The parcel records say otherwise. What you are buying is a lot that happens to have a building on part of it. Everything else we found bends around that one fact. We run a community like this one daily, and subscribing is how you catch each one. This analysis was pointed at Miami Beach. It points just as easily at whatever community you are weighing, and the broker you pick decides how that ends. Stay to the end for that part. Andrew opens with the count that made our team rerun the entire file.
Here is the number that decides what this island actually is. 56,210 parcels. Only 4,825 are single-family homes. That is under 9 in every 100. Condominiums take 79% of the count, so Miami Beach counts like a condominium city. Those houses still carry 24% of the assessed value, almost $15 billion of it. Now, what you can actually buy, the median house runs 2,880 square feet. Estate acreage, this is not. Lots split into 2 groups. Just over half sit between 6 and 10,000 square feet. Another 38% sit above 10,000. Configuration runs plainer than the price point suggests. 3 bedrooms and 2 baths leads the island at 22%. Over half these homes are single-story. If this is the level of detail you want, subscribe. Viewers name the next community in the comments. The most requested one gets recorded, and you hear it first.
Think about what that split means when you actually go shopping here. Buyers are not choosing between neighborhoods. They're choosing between 2 different pieces of ground wearing one city name. Half this island is a standard platted rectangle. The other half is island frontage. Nearly every house on either one went up before most buyers today were born. So the walkthrough matters less than you think. What matters is what the ground underneath will let you build. Andrew has the age numbers. One of them is far worse than it sounds.
Start with when this island got built. The median house here dates to 1948. Nearly 80% went up before 1960. Then construction simply stopped. Across the 1980s and 90s combined, this community produced 117 single-family homes. That is 20 full years of almost nothing, and building only restarted after 2000. Now the part that misleads people. 60% of these homes show recorded improvement work. The typical gap to the rebuild year is 40 years, which sounds healthy until you do the arithmetic. 40 years on a 1948 house lands the upgrade in the late 1980s. Only 5% carry recorded work from 2010 or later. Vladimir has what that does to the value split.
Here is where the dirt number from the opening earns its keep. On the median parcel, our analysis puts the land at $1.9 million, which is the whole story in one figure. The building on top adds $420,000, and the median home covers under a third of its own lot. Then Florida adds a second layer. Save Our Homes caps assessment increases at 3% a year for a homesteaded owner. Everybody else gets marked up annually, so assessed value here trails full value by $9.5 billion. 86% of that sits with owners who homesteaded and stayed. Everyone treats the tax bill as a fact about the property. It is a fact about the owner, and it resets the day the deed changes hands. Andrew has the tenure figures behind why so few ever do.
People here do not leave, and the numbers say it plainly. Median ownership tenure is 7 years. The average is 12. That gap is a long tail of owners who simply never moved. 41% have held more than a decade, 22% more than 20 years. The cap shows up directly in behavior. Homesteaded owners hold 10 years. Owners without it hold under 5, which is the whole mechanism in one comparison. 2/3 of these homes carry a homestead exemption. That leaves 1 in 3 that is not somebody's primary residence. 32% sit in a non-individual owner name. 15% of that is trusts, which in a community this locked up reads as estate planning. Alejandro has what happens when one finally comes loose.
658 houses here clear a strict redevelopment screen. Built before 1960, big lot, small structure, no recent work. That is 1 in 7 single-family homes. 104 carry a building R analysis values under $50,000 on a lot that still has a house on it. The vacant ground says it louder. 76% of vacant parcels here sit in an entity name. For the houses, it is 32. Somebody already priced the replacement cycle. So tell us in the comments which side you take. Is Miami Beach single family a renovation market or a teardown market? Pick one and say why.
The tension we opened with resolves cleanly. This is a land market wearing a housing market's clothes. $4 and $5 is ground. Half the stock has not been touched since before 1980, and the owners who benefit most are the ones who never sell. In part 1, we walked this island block by block. Part 3 opens what we deliberately left out today, what these homes actually changed hands for, and how long it took. Reach out to us if any of this touches your own decision. We start with your situation, your budget, and your timeline. Then we point this same analysis at your deal. Big Data Realty takes it from there. I am Avatar, but the real me is Vladimir Bugera, a licensed real estate broker in California and Florida. The first conversation is just the numbers. Miami Beach never ran out of land. It ran out of people willing to give theirs up. Big Data Realty. We run the numbers, you make the call.